Assalamualaikum. In this video, we will be exploring bibliometric analysis, which helps in going from research chaos to research clarity, because obviously drowning into lots and lots of PDFs isn't a research method. So let's dive right in and uncover the insights hidden within the scholarly data. What is bibliometric analysis? It is useful for decoding and mapping the cumulative scientific knowledge and evolutionary nuances of well-established fields by making sense of large volumes of unstructured data in rigorous way. So you have a large set of data which is unstructured, which means nothing by immediately looking at it. So you decode it and then you create maps to make links and to establish connections between them. Bibliometric analysis is just like a detective work for research that helps track who is citing whom, which topics are trending, and what keywords dominate the field. But how does a bibliometric analysis help? It handles, organizes, analyzes, and reports complex bibliometric data, which, as I told earlier, would be inefficient if in raw form. Secondly, it presents a big picture in meaningful ways through the maps it provides. What is the significance of bibliometric analysis? Firstly, it helps examine the growth and trends within a specific field. Secondly, it evaluates scholarly performance and impact. Thirdly, it identifies collaboration patterns between the authors or between the institutions. Then it also helps evaluate the author's productivity, identify research gaps, and derive novel ideas for investigation. So these are some of the uses or use cases of bibliometric analysis. And moving to how bibliometric analysis is conducted, we have to move up the ladder. The first step is define the aims and scope of bibliometric study. So there are two types of analysis within bibliometric analysis. The first is performance analysis and the second is science mapping. We have to decide whether we want to incorporate both or just one. On the basis of the chosen analysis, we have to move to the second step, which is choose the technique for bibliometric analysis. Then we move to the third step, which is collecting the data for this analysis, and lastly we will run the bibliometric analysis and report the findings. So for the first step, which is to set the aims, we basically analyze and we set the main purpose, goals, and expected results. So we identify the productivity in research field and analyze the performance of scientific items. As I told, that bibliometric analysis has two analysis types. First is the performance analysis, which accounts for contribution of research constituents, and the second is science mapping. It focuses on relationship between research constituents. So performance analysis is mostly about the productivity of the authors, or it is based on the citations, with which author received more citations or which journal has the highest impact factor and all, while science mapping helps with the making connections between the authors or the institutions, that is basically the co-authorship analysis, or to understand the link between the keywords that occur simultaneously in multiple papers. The tools for bibliometric analysis, we have several tools, but for this video I will be explaining VOS viewer. Then third step is data for bibliometric analysis that can be extracted from the Web of Science, from Google Scholar, or from the Scopus. And for this video we will be using Scopus. If you have collected the bibliographic data, the next step is data cleaning. This is done using Prisma framework, and Prisma stands for Preferred Reporting Items for Systematic Reviews and Meta-Analysis. It has 4 steps. The first is identification, second is screening, the third is eligibility, and the fourth is inclusion, finally included data. So what we do in the identification stage is that we find the papers and remove any duplicates. So for example, the initial file that was downloaded, it identified 497 papers related to a particular field. In this case, we used machine learning and portfolio optimization as the two keywords, and the related papers were provided by the Scopus database search. In the first stage of identification, we removed any duplicates, and in the second step, that is screening, we remove any irrelevant paper based on the exclusion criteria used. And after removing 125 papers being irrelevant with respect to your exclusion criteria, you are left with 426 papers assessed for eligibility and any of the missing information papers. So if there are any data which have missing information, for example the authors are not mentioned, or the title is not clear, or the abstract is missing, so any of the missing information, if they exist, then such documents are removed. So you can see that after that, the removal of 64 documents, we are left with 362 documents that are finally included into the bibliometric analysis. And here the point to be noted is that there should be at least 50 documents for your bibliometric analysis, and we are safe here because we have 326.